Have you ever paused mid-sentence and wondered why your words felt like gentle rain or crashing waves? What if the secret to transforming your relationships, your focus, and even your destiny lies in the space between your words? What if I told you that both the sharpest speech and the deepest silence can reshape your mind and your life? In this video, you'll discover 3 powerful insights. The hidden science behind why words and silence alter your brain chemistry. Time-tested techniques leaders and visionaries use to speak or stay silent with impact. A simple step-by-step blueprint to build your own daily silence and communication practice. Before we dive in, share in the comments, when was the last time a single phrase or a moment of quiet changed how you felt? The hidden power of words. Science, history, and psychology. Have you ever paused to consider that a single sentence can quicken your heartbeat or bring tears of joy? What if I told you your words carry more weight than any sword or shield? Let's explore how our speech can shape minds, bridge divides, or, when misused, leave invisible scars, starting right now. Science proves it. Your brain listens to your tongue. When you hear praise, your brain's reward center floods with dopamine, that feel-good hormone. But harsh criticism spikes cortisol, the stress hormone, freezing your prefrontal cortex and clouding judgment. I learned this firsthand when a late mentor's encouraging words helped me tackle my first public speech. Their calm confidence rewired my own self-belief. During World War II, Winston Churchill's rallying cry, "We shall never surrender," steeled an entire nation against despair. And in 1963, Martin Luther King Jr., his simple declaration, "I have a dream," ignited a movement for civil rights that reshaped America. Those few words did more than inspire emotion. They rewrote history itself. Imagine treating each word as a lantern. Build someone up or break them down, rather than sparking shadows of doubt. Tomorrow, try catching yourself before you speak. Will your words build someone up or break them down? Now that we've uncovered the hidden chemistry and history behind our speech, get ready to see how embracing silence can unlock even deeper insights. Case study: The King's 15 Silence Journey. Have you ever felt your mind buzz so loudly that even familiar sounds become overwhelming? Imagine a ruler with all the power and riches, yet no peace of mind. Would you dare to embrace total silence to find your calm? Day 1 can feel like a storm in your head. When our king first sat alone in the monastery's quiet halls, intrusive thoughts pounded like marching soldiers. His heart raced, and he fought the urge to break the silence, every unspoken fear growing louder. Yet, by resisting just one breath, he discovered a tiny gap between thoughts. As days passed, the king's inner battle shifted. He began to notice the soft rustle of leaves, the steady drip of water, even the gentle rise and fall of his own chest. In the style of a Vipassana retreat, he observed sensations without judgment, recognizing that restlessness was only a passing visitor, not his true self. By day 12, his mind naturally sank into deep meditation. Without effort, his racing thoughts dissolved, and he tasted a profound calm deeper than any luxury could offer. This isn't just an ancient legend. Modern studies show that even short stays in silence camps reduce cortisol by up to 30%, boosting focus and emotional resilience. The small miracle here is simple. Silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of clarity. Tomorrow, when you feel overwhelmed, give yourself 5 minutes of wordless stillness. Notice that first quiet moment, and you may find the peace you've been chasing. Next, we'll dive into the neuroscience that explains why silence rewires your brain and how you can harness it daily. Neuroscience of silence, research and health benefits. Did you know that simply embracing a few moments of silence can physically reshape your brain? What if I told you that the quietest corners of your mind hold the greatest power for well-being? Modern neuroscience calls silence a reset button for the brain. When we immerse ourselves in quiet electroencephalogram, EEG, studies reveal an increase in alpha waves, the same brain rhythms linked to relaxation and creativity. At the same time, MRI scans show that habitual silence enlarges the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, areas responsible for memory, emotional regulation, and executive function. Beyond structural changes, a landmark study found that just 2 hours per week spent in silent retreats reduced cortisol levels by 22% and boosted immune markers by 15%. Imagine trading a single coffee break for 5 minutes of wordless stillness and gaining sharper focus, calmer moods, and even better sleep. I experienced this myself after a weekend silence retreat. I returned home not only more centered, but brimming with fresh ideas I hadn't accessed before. Silence isn't empty. It's the space where your brain clears out mental clutter and rewires for resilience. Today, carve out 5 silent minutes. Notice how your thoughts settle like dust in still water, and how clarity begins to emerge. Next, we'll explore practical communication tools so you can balance this inner calm with impactful speech, knowing exactly when to speak and when to listen for maximum effect. Strategic communication: when to speak, where, and what. Have you ever blurted out a thought only to regret it moments later? What if mastering just 3 simple steps could transform every conversation? At work, at home, or even online. Let's discover how knowing when, where, and what to say can turn everyday exchanges into powerful connections. Step 1. Pause before you speak. Before answering in a meeting or replying to a text, take a silent breath. That tiny pause, just 3 seconds, gives your prefrontal cortex time to sort emotion from logic. I learned this when I nearly escalated a team conflict with an offhand comment. A brief pause let me rephrase my feedback into a constructive question instead. Step 2. Choose the right setting. Not every topic belongs in a group chat or at the dinner table. Sensitive feedback deserves a private, calm environment. Think a quiet office or a one-on-one walk. When I needed to discuss career growth with a colleague, suggesting a coffee stroll around the park opened their defenses and turned a tense talk into an energizing brainstorming session. Step 3. Craft your message. Ask yourself, am I sharing facts, feelings, or a request? Stating the impact, when X happens, I feel Y, invites collaboration, while vague complaints breed confusion. Next time you need to address a mistake, try, when the report arrives late, I worry we'll miss our deadline. Could we adjust our timeline together? Mastering these 3 steps, pause, place, phrase, is like installing a filter on your words. You'll reduce misunderstandings, build trust, and ensure your voice is heard exactly as you intend. Ready to balance this strategic speech with the power of silence? In our next section, we'll explore common pitfalls of over-talking and how to spot them before they trip you up. Common pitfalls of talking too much. Have you ever left a conversation feeling frustrated? Wondering how you ended up dominating every topic? What if those extra words were actually costing you focus, credibility, and peace of mind? Pitfall 1. Scattered focus. Talking non-stop fragments your attention. In our digital age, multitasking feels like a badge of honor. But when we're busy explaining every detail, our brain juggles too many threads. I once prepared a presentation while chatting through instant messages, blanks, and ended up missing key points because my mind was everywhere at once. Pitfall 2. Emotional drain. Each word you unleash pumps energy into your social battery. Overtalking can leave you mentally exhausted, especially when conversations veer into conflict. I remember after a heated family discussion, I felt utterly drained, not because of what was said, but because I'd kept the verbal floodgate open without pause. Pitfall 3. Lost credibility. When every thought spills out, we risk diluting our message and our authority. Have you noticed that someone who's constantly talking gets overlooked when they finally share something important? Colleagues often tune out the background noise, and what truly matters gets buried. By spotting these pitfalls, scattered focus, emotional drain, and credibility loss, you gain the power to choose your moments of speech. Next time you feel the urge to fill the silence, pause, take a breath, and ask, is this adding value? Up next, we'll meet world leaders and innovators who mastered the art of fewer words and learn how their quiet confidence shaped history. Global models, quiet leaders with tremendous impact. Have you ever noticed that the most influential voices aren't always the loudest? Imagine a world where a whisper can move mountains. Meet the leaders who proved it true. Mahatma Gandhi, the power of gentle resolve. Gandhi rarely raised his voice, yet his salt march through dusty fields in 1930 spoke louder than any cannon. By choosing nonviolence and calm determination, he rallied millions to India's independence without ever shouting orders. His quiet conviction inspired followers to act not because they feared him, but because they believed in him. Nelson Mandela, silence before strength. After 27 years in prison, Mandela emerged in 1990 with measured words. The time for the healing of the wounds has come. He understood that restraint builds moral authority. By speaking sparingly and always with purpose, he guided South Africa through reconciliation, turning potential chaos into hope. Steve Jobs focused simplicity in speech. On stage, Jobs was concise. His legendary product launches, "One More Thing," taught us that brevity creates anticipation. By distilling complex technology into simple, memorable phrases, he captured global attention and trust without ever rambling through features. What these figures share is clear. They chose each word like a brushstroke, painting visions that others could follow. Next time you prepare to speak, channel their quiet confidence. Ask yourself, does this sentence serve my vision? In our final section, we'll build daily habits of silence and reflection so you can balance this inspired speech with lasting inner peace. Building an effective silence habit. What if 5 minutes of quiet each day could transform your entire week? Imagine waking up to a calm mind before the world even stirs. Let's make that your new normal. Find your ideal posture and space. Choose a comfortable chair or cushion, spine straight but relaxed, shoulders soft. Create a little sanctuary. Dim light, a cozy blanket, and silence instead of music. Even a quiet corner of your living room can become sacred. Set a simple schedule. Commit to 20-30 minutes daily, first thing in the morning or just before bed. Anchor it to an existing habit. After pouring your morning tea, close your eyes, or following your evening wash-up, sit still. Consistency builds the silence muscle in your brain. Use supportive tools. Apps like Calm offer guided silence timers. Insight Timer lets you track streaks, and Forest gamifies focus, planting virtual trees that flourish when you stay wordless. These gentle reminders keep you honest on busy days. Measure your progress. Keep a simple journal. Note the date, duration, and one word to describe how you felt. Rested, clear, or even struggle. Over weeks, you'll spot patterns. Which times of day brought the deepest calm, and how mental clutter fades. Silence is more than absence. It's a practice that rewires your mind for focus, creativity, and compassion. Begin today. Set your timer for 5 minutes, find your spot, and simply breathe. Notice how a small pause can unlock a richer, quieter life. 7-day silence challenge and community connection. Ready to turn silent moments into a shared journey? Imagine sleeping each night feeling lighter, clearer, and more connected, both to yourself and to others. Welcome to our 7-Day Silence Challenge. Day 1. A gentle beginning. Start with 5 minutes of stillness after waking. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and simply notice your breath. No judgment, just presence. Day 2. Expanding awareness. Increase to 10 minutes. Observe sounds around you, birds, distant traffic, even the hum of your own body. Don't chase thoughts. Let them pass like clouds. Day 3. Journaling insights. After 15 minutes of silence, write one reflection. A feeling, a memory, or an insight. This small turns quiet into clarity. Day 4. Sharing safely. Join our private group on Facebook, link in description. Post your one-word mood, peaceful, curious, or struggle. Reading others' words reminds you you're not alone. Day 5. Mid-challenge check-in. Drop into a live 10-minute silent Zoom room. Notice the collective calm rising across video squares. Shared silence is surprisingly bonding. Days 6 to 7. Deepening and reflection. Day 6. Extend to 20 minutes. Day 7. Combine silence with a mindful walk. After each session, share a short voice note in our group about your biggest breakthrough. By committing 7 days together, you'll build resilience, sharpen focus, and feel the strength of a supportive community. Ready to accept the challenge? Click subscribe. Share your Day 1 experience below. And let's grow in stillness together.